What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Third Moon Brewing, and they're out of Milton, Ontario, Canada, and this is their All Was Ashes. So this is an IPA that comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, and this can is approximately 3 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and occasional viewer of the channel, Sean, for this beer. So big thanks to him. Sean came down to the Western New York area and we hung out at Brewed and Bottled in Lewiston, New York. You guys know it as my favorite local bottle shop. We hung out with a couple other friends of ours, Andrew and Kara, and we had a fantastic time, drank some awesome beers. And Sean was nice enough to bring down 4 different beers from Ontario. A beer from Sparrow, which I already reviewed and was absolutely delicious. 2 beers from Third Moon, this and another that him and I will be hopefully doing a duo review of. And finally, a Bellwoods collab with The Veil, which I'll be reviewing soon. So this beer, pretty simple. It's a hazy IPA that is brewed with Riwaka and Motueka hops from Freestyle Hops. That's all I know about it. I'm using my Bellwoods, a big wine glass with all the bells around it. The reason I don't use this one, we'll see if it shows up on camera or not. See the chip up there? See that little chip right here? See that? I try not to use it because of that, but whatever. As long as I don't drink from that side, we should be all right. So let's crack this one open, get in the glass. Third Moon, one of my favorite breweries from not only Ontario, but Canada as a whole. They do some awesome stuff, so I'm thinking that this one's gonna be pretty dang tasty. So yeah, it's pouring out like the haze, the murk that a lot of people clamor for. Do something like that. That looks beautiful in the glass, honestly. It has that, you know, the milky color that everybody kind of clamors for nowadays, so hold it up to the light. Not in hashtag proper glassware, but I love this glass. I just don't use it enough because of the chip. Plus, I don't review a ton of Bellwoods beers. I do have that other one, which I'll be using my Bellwoods goblet, but that has more of a, on camera, it looks a little bit brighter than it does in person, which is kind of weird. On camera, it has that milky kind of yellow color. In person, it's more of like a milky yellow-orange. I'm going to use this, but as Green Sombrero says, it works better for stemless. We'll see. That doesn't work as well. It's not going to get through it because it's hazy. Even if you go through the sides, not much. Go down through it, you can't. So yeah, for the most part, it looks slightly lighter on camera than it does in person. That's kind of what I'd say about this one, but it looks really, really nice, aside from the chip in my glass. Let's get a nose. Well, let me talk about the head. It's almost 2 fingers of a off-white creamy, very creamy looking head. All right. 3 weeks old. This is screaming to me, Motueka for sure. Riwaka, I'm getting huge passion fruit. That is gnarly passion fruit. Wow. That almost smells like I'm eating a passion fruit. Holy shit, is the passion fruit insane on this one. Candy lemon lime, Sprite, 7-Up. Dare I say sorry? No, I don't. There is some little bit of guava, pineapple, like ruby red grapefruit with sugar sprinkled on top of it. So it's nice, like dank herbaceous. It's more of, I honestly take back that dank. I'll say it's more of like an herbal kind of tone to it. Yeah, herbaceous, almost like tomato stock-esque too. A very slight amount of like a crackery malt sensation. Dude, this smells. I don't know what Ontario's doing these breweries. That Sparrow beer I had, 6.5%, one of the most impactful 6.5% beers I've ever had, period. Doesn't matter if it's from Canada, US, hyped, not hyped. This is smelling like Sparrow's beer, not identical in terms of the aroma, just the intensity, the hop saturation. Just, it's very aromatic and it's 6.5%. It's kind of bonkers. It's almost giving me a little bit of that like vanilla kind of, I don't think they're using lactose. I think they have to actually specify that in Canada on the labels if they're using like, their ingredients are usually on there. Is it on this can? I thought it had to be on all cans in Canada. Huh, I thought maybe not if you sell them at the brewery, maybe if it just gets into like the LCBO or grocery stores, you need the ingredients. But it does have that little bit of like vanilla creamsicle thing that sometimes I get with IPAs and lactose. It smells awesome though, let's get into it. Cheers everybody. Thanks again, Sean. Okay, so is this nice? It is very nice. The nose was immaculate. The taste definitely dialed back, more subtle and nuanced. Where that Sparrow beer, it carried over from the aroma to the taste was just as impactful, just as delicious, just as much hop saturation. In the taste of this one, you can tell it's a lower ABV IPA, and it just doesn't have the intensity that I was smelling in the nose. The nose smelled like this was 8.5%, 9%, like a double IPA, Imperial IPA. The taste, though, is definitely saying, yeah, it's a 6.5% hazy IPA. Buying this is like medium touch over medium, 6.5%, nice. The mouthfeel is beautiful. It's almost moderately carbonated, but still has somewhat of a softness to it. Very smooth going down the second half of the palate. It has nice creaminess on the edges of the tongue as well. Nice from that aspect. So mouthfeels and the body's pretty damn good. The taste is still really nice. It's just what I was smelling was upper echelon, top tier. Almost world-class for the ABV and what this beer is supposed to be. The taste has more of that, and I know some people don't like Riwaka. For me, I always get out of Riwaka a lot of passion fruit, a lot of like exotic tropical fruits, passion fruit, lychee, guava, and then usually a lot of grapefruit and citrus, and that's what I'm getting here. It seems like the Riwaka is taking precedence over the Motueka, where I'm getting that candied kind of ruby red grapefruit or ruby red grapefruit with like a sprinkle of sugar. I'm getting more of that. I'm definitely getting a big blast of the passion fruit, but it almost has like a under-ripened passion fruit where there's a little bit of tartness. Now I'm saying there's tartness in here, but it's just not like a sweet, juicy passion fruit. That's like the first half of the palate, along with, again, an underlying like crackery malt sensation. Then midway through the palate, I get a touch of like a pineapple, a little bit of that candied lemon lime. There is also a little, I'd say, a skosh of that vanilla character that I was getting, but nowhere near as big as the nose. If they're using any lactose in here, which I don't know for sure, I don't really know at all. It's very minimal in terms of what I'm getting on the palate. I will say, however, the finish is beautiful. Has this drying herbaceousness to it, almost into like a basil or a thyme, some kind of herb. Tomato stock as well. Very dry, bone dry. But here's why I do dig this one a little bit more. That first initial visceral reaction I had after that sip, I was like, oh, this is good, but the nose is better. As I'm drinking on this, and I'm taking it down quite easily, a couple things I'm noticing. Very easy to drink, but it has enough dryness and bitterness to really kind of bring me in. It's reining me in a little bit. Like it's just snatching me. It's pulling me in. And it's because of the balance of this one. It's not overly sweet. There's not too much of that super juicy, over-the-top fruit character. It's kind of layered and nuanced. Again, more subtle, but very balanced. Again, firmly dry with a approaching moderate bitterness. And again, I like that herbal kind of like tomato stock finish. 6.5%, you can't tell. And as I've been doing lately, get a better look at that chip. Look at that chip right there at that top. But look at that glass lacing. Fantastic. You know, I started out with this one thinking, after that first sip, you know, maybe I'm not all that impressed by it. Maybe it's not all that great. You know, the nose is better, blah, blah, blah. But as I continue to drink on it, I do dig this. I would say off of that first sip, I'd probably give this like a 4 to a high 4. But as I continue to sip on it, I'm really realizing this is a great crushable hazy IPA that's extremely drinkable, which a lot of hazy beers are not that drinkable to me anymore. My palate wants dryness, bitterness, too sweet, too much of that like juicy, fruity, kind of over the top profile is just not my jam. This, however, my jam. It's really nice. I'm not gonna go crazy high in the score, but I'm gonna give this what I think is an appropriate score, a good score, and I'm gonna say this is good. So All Was Ashes from Third Moon. I'm going to give this a straight on 4.25 out of 5. This is pretty damn tasty for what this beer is supposed to be. Again, I don't think anyone's gonna probably lose their mind when they taste it. The aroma, I still stick by. The aroma was just amazing, immaculate, over the top, but in a good way. The taste, not as much, is what it is. Now, price point. I checked their website, Third Moon. This was $22.12 or something like that, a 4-pack. If you do the conversion as we speak, and I'm reviewing this one, I think the conversion of it is almost $16 or right around 16 bucks USD. So $16 for a 4-pack for a 6.5% hazy. That's kind of the going rate here in the US. If you go get another half, 6.5% hazy, probably in that $16 to $18 realm. So maybe a little bit cheaper, but kind of in the realm of what you pay in the US for beers like this that, you know, have hype, that are, you know, more well-known and regarded as far. In Third Moon, they do hazies well, they do pastry stouts well, and they do pastry sours well. I haven't had like a lager from them or any kind of like weird off style. Their barrel-aged beers are good. The one coffee stout I had from them was top tier, so they're kind of like the new school kind of styles, but they do them extremely well, especially in Canada. So I'm fine with that price point and availability. I think you had to buy them at the brewery, but on top of that, they do get to some bottle shops and places in Ontario. I don't think they make it to the LCBO, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but there are some bottle shops you can get throughout Ontario that get them. I think you can also, I don't know if they do delivery to their house or to your house in Ontario, but you can. If you're here in the US, you're not going to see Third Moon stuff. Outside of being in like Western New York, we get occasional drops of draft stuff here in the Western New York area, but very occasional. And I've never seen a can of their beer here on this side that wasn't at a beer fest or something, right? So if you're ever in Ontario, check out Third Moon. Try to get your hands on their stuff. Great guys. Just a great brewery. They all love beer. They've all been drinking beer for a long time. The owners and the head brewer and everything, they all do a really good job. And Sean could tell you all about them as well. But yeah, really good. Still think that Sparrow beer is superior to this one, which I didn't think would be the case, but that's personal preference. But do not sleep on this one. Really nice. Riwaka shines. Motueka shines. It's a dare I say, super drinkable hazy IPA, 6.5%. Again, I don't say that often. So anyway, huge thanks to Sean for this beer. Like I said, we got another one, which I think is a West Coast IPA or West Coast Double IPA, one of the two with peach hops. We're going to try to do a dual review. If not, I'll review it on my own, but we're going to try to make that happen. So once again, thanks to Sean. Thanks everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you've had this one before, post a comment section, or if you've had anything from Third Moon, I'd love to hear from you. To the next one. Cheers.